Okay, so today we're doing lesson 7 from Esperanza Rising, and this is the Analyze Word Choice paper. You can either write it on this paper that you printed out or have in your packet, or you can just write this into your composition book. So after reading the two chapters today have been posted online if you haven't read them yet. It's Las Papas and Aguacates. I'm going to first take a passage from page 174 from Las Papas. Okay, and this is where it's Christmas Eve, or it's getting close to Christmas in the camp, while Esperanza has now come to California, and Isabel is asking about Christmas Eve. So Esperanza is telling her on Christmas Eve the house was always filled with laughter and people calling out Feliz Navidad. Later we went to the Catedral and sat down with hundreds of people and held candles during midnight mass. Then when we went home in the middle of the night, still smelling of incense from the church, we drank warm atol de chocolate and opened our gifts. Isabel sucked in her breath and gushed, "What kind of gifts?" And at this moment, Esperanza says, I can't remember. Said Esperanza. And then she says in a few other sentences, all I remember is being happy. So at this point, in California, her change in thought, she used to focus so much on what gifts she received. Now her change in thought is just around being with all of the people and the traditions from before. And all she remembers is being happy. So the effect of word choice on meaning or mood of the story. Esperanza chooses not to mention any specific gift, but instead to tell about the family traditions. And just to mention being happy. Okay, so her mood has really changed from being in Mexico to being in California. So the second passage I want to talk about is from the next chapter, Aguacates, and this is on page 182. And so this is when she's trying to help her hands. She's trying to fix her hands after working for so long. So she says, it wouldn't matter how much avocado and glycerin she put on them. They would never look like the hands of a wealthy woman. They were the hands of a campesina. So again, her word choice here is letting us know that she has been forever changed. by the death of her father and her new life in California. All right, finally, I'd like to choose a third passage where her mother is sick. She had to be moved to a hospital because she got so sick from valley fever. And so they said that the mother now has pneumonia and that she's not going to be able to visit her mother in the hospital anymore. And they said this disease, valley fever, makes the body tired and susceptible to other infections. We're treating her with medications. She is weak. I know this is hard for you, but we'd like to ask that she have no more visitors for at least a month, maybe longer. We can't take a chance that she'll contract another infection from any outside germs that might be brought into the hospital. Can I see her for just a few moments? The doctor hesitated and then nodded and walked away. Esperanza hurried to Mama's bed and Miguel followed. This is on page 183, also of Los Aguacates. And she says, Mama slowly opened her eyes, gave Esperanza the smallest smile. She was thin and frail, her hair was strewn and bedraggled, and her face was so white it seemed to fade into the sheets, as if she would sink into the bed and disappear forever. Mama looked like a ghost of herself. She was thin and frail. Her hair was strewn and bedraggled. And her face was so white that it seemed to fade into the sheets. As if she would sink into the bed and disappear forever. Mama looked like a ghost of herself. So the effective word choice and the meaning or mood. These words make us think that this might be the last time Esperanza sees her mother. By saying she looks like a ghost, it makes us feel there is no hope.